me, then I need to let not just athletes know about it, who I lecture to a lot, but everybody. You know, you don't have to be an athlete to get the edge, the benefit, the what we want in life is vitality. And so I started doing some lectures for the company. This is back in 06, 2007, somewhere in there. And it just kind of progressed. I started in little venues in Atlanta, Georgia, and then it got bigger. And then pretty soon I'm on main stage in front of thousands of people. And I think what's so great about it is that the response that you get when you broadcast it out is amazing. But what makes it easy for us as healthcare providers is the fact that we have this huge body of research. I mean, we're up to 48 published studies, you guys. And I know this industry well, the nutrition industry. That's unheard of. So, in a nutshell, that's kind of what my story is. And I'll explain a little bit more later about why the micronutrients are so important to athletes. But that's it.
Beautiful story, through the love, then becoming a customer, then understanding that this is not something for you, but you want to share it with everybody out there. That is I didn't know that part. So very inspiring. What you said there. And it's good that every time a healthcare professional, but not only healthcare professional, but experts and doctors say something like, we have this amazing product. I get goosebumps. I don't know, with the people here in the Zoom, let me know if you, when Dr. Phillips said, we have something special here, and this is so special, I get goosebumps. I don't know what the other people, so let me know in the chat if you get like, wow. Yeah, this is us. This is Juice Plus. We need to go out there. Okay, I don't want to carry it away. Sorry. Let's move on to the first question for Dave. Dave O'Brien, Mr. Feelgood, Mr. Energy, Mr. Let's talk about Juice Plus. And even if you don't want to hear it, I'm going to talk to you anyway. Dave, the question is for you. Desert runner. I mean, when I heard about this the first time, I could not really bring that together, what that is. I mean, just thinking about it, is like, wow, what is this? So first of all, what does a desert runner do? And of course, how did you find Juice Plus? What is that story?
Okay, so thank you for having me on board here, and I promise I'll be done by midnight, okay? So, I guess... I don't have as a romantic story as David. In fact, mine is probably very mundane, although there's a swimming element into it. But first, what is a desert run? A desert run is 230 kilometers, 260 kilometers, about 157 miles over 6 days. You carry everything on your back to survive: your food, your sleeping bag, your survival gear, your water. And you do like a marathon every day, pretty much. And then you have a long day, and the long day is normally 2 to 2.5 marathons, yeah? And you run, crawl, walk, whatever you have to do to get to the finish. You have a time limit. If you don't finish in time, you're out of the race. Or else you drop out from heat exhaustion or whatever. So, that's basically what it is. It's about 8 marathons in 40-plus degrees heat, up and down mountains through the most difficult terrain. You meet your demons out there, but it's a one hell of an event. That's basically what that kind of a race is, yeah. So how did I come across Juice Plus? Well, this is an interesting one. I was I was in the water filter days. I loved fresh water on my tap. Juice Plus were doing those. I just loved it. I got one. I fell in love with the whole thing. And I heard they were bringing out a new product, fruits and vegetables in the capsule. Sorry, not for me. I don't do pills. I want my fruit and veg. I'm going to eat them at home, yeah? Let's be honest. I was never into pills. I never took them. I was never going to. Anyway, I came along to the meeting in Dublin, about 1,000 people. There was a Michelin chef had a few words about Juice Plus. There was a nutritionist said a few words. Yeah, it was okay. And then our Olympic swimmer, Gary O'Toole, stood up and he said, my coach, he's American, got these, he said, and he gave them to me. And he said, Gary, take these. He said, it's safe, it's okay to do. He said, Gary said, how much do I take? He said, you can't overdose on a bit of broccoli. Just take them. And so Gary O'Toole took them, and he looked out to the audience and he said, I took these for a month. I found no difference. I took them for 2 months. I found no difference. I took them for 3 months. I found no difference. I turned to my friend and said, Juice Plus better get a different speaker. This is going to be pear-shaped. And then he said, what he said next, Ernesto, seriously, really, really, as you mentioned, goosebumps. He said, I found no difference, but my doctors did. They were taking the bloods because he was an Olympic athlete. The World Anti-Doping Association. They were heavily, heavily tested. And they found this big, huge increase in antioxidants, the good guys. And of course, if your antioxidant level goes up, your free radical level comes down. So I'm sitting here listening to this and I'm thinking, hang on a second. And in those days, David mentioned 48 peer-reviewed published studies. Then we only had one from King's College in London, and it wasn't peer-reviewed. It was an excellent research, by the way, clinical research, but no peer-reviewed. And it showed this huge increase in the good guys and a decrease in the bad guys. And so I'm thinking, what if this guy is over-exaggerating? Or what if he is, I don't know, telling us a bunch of lies? Juice Plus gave him a pile of money to tell us this. But what, Ernesto, what if it was true? What if man had found a way to grow this beautiful food in nutrient-dense soil with crop rotation, leaving it on the tree until it was vine ripened, nutrient-dense, and then through a process that only uses a fraction of heat at the end of the process, not enough to harm it at all, and encapsulated, boom, enzyme intact. Give me a break. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, the king has no clothes. I was sitting there, I swear to God, and I thought, if this can only help my body 1%, then it's worth the price of a cup of coffee. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm an ordinary guy, but I'm open. My mom always said to me, Dave, be open, and make informed decisions. And so that's how I started. The Juice Plus came to my house. I took it. I just fell in love with it. Nothing happened straight away. I was prone to chest infections as a young person. A lot of people think I'm superhuman. I live up a tree and live with the animals. No, that doesn't happen. But I was a poorly child. I got chest infection. And so I took it and no chest infections or anything. And that is my story. That was almost 30 years ago, Ernesto. And now I can tell you, my wife, my 5 grown-up children, their partners, my grandchildren, 5 of them, all Juice Plus babies, by the way. That is the legacy of Juice Plus.
That is, I mean, one story to the other story is just amazing. Just getting your head around of what a desert runner is. That was already like, wow, amazing. Then the whole story, how Juice Plus came into your life and how honest you were. It's like, this is maybe not, what I want, and this is not real. And then, the story about the doctors finding the things in your blood and say, oh, I need to really, restart thinking and think from a different perspective. And you have inspired so many other people by the way how you present this, and both Davids, actually, you both do that. And it's so inspiring just to listen to that story. And if you look at the chat when David Phillips was talking, and now you, Dave, were all talking, people love the story, people love the honesty, people just love how long you have been doing this and how long you've been sharing this story, and still part of this community. That is so inspiring. Thank you very much for that. Let's move on to Horst Lehleiter, living in Switzerland, joining us from close to the Bodensee. Horst, we also know each other for a very long time, 30 years. And of course, I want to also know your story. I said you were like a tennis player. You earned your money with playing tennis professionally, and you became a coach. How did Juice Plus came down your path?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Ernesto, for the invitation. Sorry, the German translation.
Yeah, you need to switch to English, maybe.
Sorry. Okay. As a sportsman, the nutrition has always been a very important topic for me to stay fit and healthy. But over 30 years ago, my immune system wasn't stable, always had injuries, little energy, very slow regeneration after high physical stress, was in bad mental state and other deficits, despite good nutrition. Nevertheless, I didn't any classic nutritional supplements at that time. no magnesium, no calcium, no vitamin supplements, of course, no doping. Because I didn't just want to be fit in the short time, but wanted to stay fit and healthy in the long term. And that's only possible, with a very good nutrition is the most important part, and good training condition, enough regeneration, relaxation, a positive mindset, and some social aspects. Luckily, I got to know Juice Plus through a tennis student during this time. Immediately, I recognized the difference to classic supplements as a plant-based base for an optimal nutrition. That's why I started with Juice Plus 30 years ago. The results within the first year were impressive. The immune system became more and more stable, better sleep, and no more tiredness in the afternoon. Much faster regeneration after high stress, much better mentally during competition. No more headache, better hair, and better fingernails. Literally no injuries for 30 years. That's why I'm 1000% convinced by Juice Plus and have been taking it every day since then.
He has been taking it since day one that he knew about Juice Plus, and I know how old he is. I can talk about it. He's not 65 years old. He is 72 now? 72 years old. 71. Okay, my mind, you're already 72. By becoming a PMD Plus, you're already aged 1 year. So that's 71 years old. And all three of them, Horst, David, and Dave. I mean, you guys, any 25-year-old, would sign a document and say, where can I sign that I look like that at a higher age? I don't know everybody's age, but maybe you can share it with the group if you want to. But you guys look fit. You have that Juice Plus glow, and that is what I also heard from Horst. The regeneration, that's what David Phillips said as well. The regeneration by taking Juice Plus, suddenly he was able to jump on the bike faster and not having the problems with injury and stuff like that. So now that we know a little bit more of the stories how Juice Plus came into your life, this is the light question. Okay, now we're gonna dig into a little bit more on the health expert part, right? So let me go back to you, Dr. Phillips. So when people hear things about sports, they normally think about eating right, macronutrients. But why are micronutrients, right? Micro and macronutrients, maybe you can talk a little bit about that for the people that don't know, that are found in fruits, veggies, and berries. Why are they as the macronutrients, and how does Juice Plus come into play with this?
Right. I'll just let you guys know, we're talking about age. I just turned 91 a couple of weeks ago, so.
Well done, David. Well done.
Amazing.
Nice ride.
I'm 62. That's the real number. So.
Wonderful. Look amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Ernesto. As athletes, coaches, and personal trainers, we're oftentimes consumed, and frankly, my mind confused about the proper amount of carbohydrates and fats and proteins that you need to fuel your body for performance. And I understand that. But what is oftentimes forgotten, and I fell into that category, is the important role that fruits and vegetables play in reducing what is now considered a leading cause of chronic disease, aging, and impaired athletic performance, and that's something called oxidative stress. And that's what Juice Plus provides us, the micronutrition. So you can think of it another way like this. You can think of macronutrients as the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates that fuel your body. We have to eat those, on a daily basis. You can think of that as the gasoline that we put into our engine. Separate from that is what you specifically get from fruits and veggies, which are the micronutrients, the plant chemicals, the carotenoids, the polyphenols, the flavonoids, the vitamins and minerals. And you can think of those food groups as providing the oil for your engine. Because, you can put all of the fuel into your engine that you want, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. But if you don't put oil into your car engine, it'll run for a while, but eventually it starts to break down, right? Our bodies function in a very similar process. If you don't put a steady amount of micronutrition in your body, especially as an athlete, your body will begin to deteriorate. And that is due to oxidative stress. So let me just take a minute or two explaining what that is. So I like to compare oxidative stress to a car engine. I'm a big car guy. Just as a car engine utilizes gasoline to combust, it forms a byproduct in the form of exhaust. Our body's engines are called mitochondria, and these ovoid organelles that exist inside all the cells of our bodies. These are the powerhouses of our body. Okay, this is where energy from the food that you eat, combined with the oxygen that you breathe in, goes into making a usable form of energy to make your body run, something called ATP. But it's not an airtight process, and not all those molecules are utilized in the production of energy. And so what happens is you end up with this spillover effect of these highly charged reactive oxygen species, otherwise known as free radicals. And Dave had mentioned that. And free radicals can do damage to our body. They can do, and we don't really feel free radicals. I mean, they could damage the lipids in our body. They can damage our DNA, setting us up for mutations of potential cancer. And as athletes, they can damage your proteins. And I'll get into a study real quick. That was one of my absolute favorite Juice Plus studies. But again, so what you want to do is you want to reduce this oxidative stress, and it really increases the more oxygen that you take in, the more free radicals that you produce, and the more potential damage. So in athletes, when you exercise, you increase your oxygen consumption sometimes 10 to 20 times above what you do when you're sitting like this. So we produce as athletes a ton of free radicals, and we want to protect ourselves from that. And so that kind of leads me into one of my favorite studies by our great researcher, and I know you guys know Dr. Manfred Lamprecht. I Zoom with him often. He's like my fave. I love that guy. And one of his studies I talk about all the time, and was done on the Austrian Special Forces Cobra unit. These are big elite physical specimens. And while I don't have time to go into the study, what they found out is that there was a placebo group and a group of athletes that were taking Juice Plus. And the researchers wanted to know what kind of protein oxidation or protein damage, skeletal muscle protein damage, is occurring in these athletes. And there were two groups, a placebo group and again the Juice Plus group. At the end of the study, they exercised these athletes really hard periodically during a 28-week study. But at the end of the study, there was a significant accumulation of these oxidized or damaged proteins in the bodies of the athletes that were not taking Juice Plus. So they had a severe amount of oxidative stress throughout their training. That was compared to the Juice Plus group that didn't have an accumulation of that. And the reason that is important is because so many studies are coming through showing that things like overtraining, overreaching, burnout syndromes in athletes occurs because of this accumulation of these oxidized proteins in athletes' bodies. Juice Plus protects us from that in this particular study. And that's what happened to me at Ironman Hawaii. I mean, the next day after Ironman Hawaii, normally you have what's called the Ironman shuffle. You're so sore you can't walk around. And the next day after the hardest Ironman in the world, I was walking around. I was a little sore, but not like I was before I started taking Juice Plus. So again, it's one of those things that when I talk to athletes, and again, it's not just athletes. This could be mom running after her kids. It could be anybody. We're looking for an edge in daily performance. The edge in the athletes is very clear with Juice Plus. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. I've seen it. I've seen it in other athletes that we put on Juice Plus. Recovery times, just amazingly prominent. But again, this applies to everybody across the board. If you want to run after your grandkids, or if you're a police officer, you have to be on your game. And so that's why Juice Plus is so awesome, not just for athletes, but everybody in general. But since we're talking about athletes, my favorite thing, it's an amazing product with amazing research, and I'm a lifer for good. So I hope that science makes sense.
That absolutely makes sense. Macronutrients are the gasoline and the micronutrients are the oil, and both, you need both. And what I also wrote down, Juice Plus protects us. I love that. And the way you describe it, I mean, everybody understands that. And you can really feel the passion you have for that product and how you have seen it help yourself, but you've seen it also help athletes and people around you. That makes us all proud, honestly. And again, when you talk about this, and also in depth about the study, again, we as laymen, we cannot talk about it, but you as a doctor, you can talk about it. You can read these studies, and he's like, and you were like flabbergasted. Wow, this is amazing. This is the things that, why is Juice Plus not about? And I think that is a little bit also the mission that you have. And it's like, no, I need to talk to all these people. I need to bring it out there because I cannot keep it for myself. It would be selfish. And I think this is definitely the feeling I have. Amazing. So many people love it in the chat. Thank you very much for that answer. And let's move over to Horst Lehleiter for your question. So as a sports scientist, why does Juice Plus make sense for everyone, right? Philip was talking about, especially for sports people, but why does it make for everyone? And why do you recommend it to everyone you know?
I can, David, only confirm, of course. First of all, my own positive experiences, my own study with Juice Plus was the trigger that I have studied Juice Plus more scientifically. My personal results made me curious. Therefore, I wanted to gain more scientific knowledge about fruits and vegetables, have read books about it, about the many thousands of substances are contained in fruits and vegetables. And in this context, I came across the 5-a-day campaign in the States and the knowledge about free radicals and oxidative stress. It became clear to me that fruits and vegetables, no vitamins, make a very important contribution to reduce the oxidative stress in the cells, the cause of all diseases and poor quality of life. I immediately understood that Juice Plus was a practical solution to this problem. My own results were proof. As a competitive athlete, I always had higher levels of oxidative stress because the higher oxygen intake, because the higher breathe rate, and of the high physical and psychological stress. That's why athletes need more micronutrients from fruits, vegetables, and berries. By the way, today everyone is a competitive athlete and must do more to stay healthy and fit due to other stress factors. The recommendation of the World Health Organization and other health organizations worldwide is 7 to 10 servings daily. I don't know anyone who does this. Therefore, the Juice Plus caps are the sensible and practical solution to get more micronutrients from fruits and vegetables every day. They are a protective coating for our cells, proven by almost 50 clinical studies worldwide. I'm so excited about the benefits of Juice Plus. That's why I will use for life and recommend it every day. Thank you for attention.
Wow. Yes, you recommend it every single day, and amazingly done, Horst. I know German, I know English is not your native language. You do an amazing job. Thank you very much for that. Fruits and vegetables is not the same as multivitamins, right? You said that people think, vitamins are in fruits and vegetables, so multivitamins are the same as fruits and vegetables. No, it's not. The 5-a-day campaign, as you said, it's 7 to 10 portions every single day. I mean, what a great feeling it is. Also for me and my family, when my kids go out, that I know they have the base. This is whatever comes on top is great, but at least they have the 30 different fruits and vegetables and berries in them inside, and they're flooding their body with that. So interesting and so good to see and to hear again also from you, Horst, the passion that you have for this product, and also the trust you have into this product. And again, these clinical studies, say for Dr. Phillips, but also for you, Horst, and definitely also for David, for Dave, what a reassurance that is. Maybe also for us. I mean, there's 900 people, 795 people. We don't know exactly what it is, but a food supplement company that is not obliged to do that is doing all these clinical studies is providing for these clinical studies. We're not doing them ourselves. There's universities and there's clinics that do that. I mean, it's just a great feeling, and I'm so proud that this company does it. And it makes us special to everything that is out there. And people say, yeah, it's a no, it's not a multivitamin. It's definitely fruit, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. And what don't you understand? The fruits, the berries, or the capsule. What is it? I mean, it's basic at that. Thank you very much for that, Horst. And let's finish the call with Dave O'Brien. And I have a question for you, Dave, and I thought about this, you being the last speaker, and we do have quite some time. You have been an advocate for health for Juice Plus also for many, many years. I've seen you on many occasions talking to people one-on-one, but also on the big stages of this of Juice Plus. Why does healthy living doesn't come out of fashion? And the other one is for everybody in the call. You know, there's people in the call. What is your advice of sharing Juice Plus capsules to the world out there? What is this exactly that people can maybe write down and say, hey, when I get out there, out of this call, this is how I talk about Juice Plus?
Thank you, Ernesto. Okay, first of all, can I say, like Horst, my next birthday, I'll be 71. So there you go. So yeah, we're look. I always say that longevity with quality of life should not be just for the chosen few. It should be for everybody. And that it doesn't matter whether when you're young, you don't think about these things, but as you get older and older, your priorities change. And so that's really where it is. And I also don't believe that we have a vitamin deficiency in this world. I believe we have a whole food deficiency. And I know my colleagues will agree with me on that one. So yeah, your question about being healthy, I have a passion for this. You know, sometimes I want to slap people. I know it's not very politically correct, but we have this $1 trillion body. Think about it. You cut your finger, it heals. You get a cold, it goes away. It's insane. But yet, we put more time and effort into a shopping list than we do our own health. I don't understand that. Why is it we don't worry about our health until we haven't got it? So here we go. I'm listening to this 30 years ago. I hear there's something that can reduce this free radical damage. Not instead of a good diet, but with a good diet. To bridge that nutritional gap. Come on, guys. Nobody has a perfect diet unless you live under a banana tree and wait for the bananas to fall in your lap. Then you have a gap in your nutrition, okay? And nutrient density, you know, David, Horst, myself, we totally believe in having that nutrient density in our food. And it's getting more difficult every day of the week because for lots of reasons, the way food is grown, etc. So to have that, bridge that gap is just, there's no words for it. So I want to talk about, as you asked me, the healthy bit. When I said that I was going to do these deserts, okay, I was at that stage of the game, 60 almost. And my boys, I've got 3 boys in their 40s. They were, woo, come on, Dad, the Irish Superman, yeah? But this world record, I was to go the Atacama Desert in Chile, 270 kilometers. Then go to the Gobi Desert in China, 270 kilometers. Then the Sahara Desert in Egypt, 270 kilometers. And then Antarctica to finish it off. So you're going from 46 degrees to minus 30, which will freeze your lungs. And as I was doing this, I began to understand why only 2 men in the world had done it. Now, I know, as I said, my boys thought this was fantastic, the macho thing, you know, Ernesto, woo, the Irish Superman. But my wife, my children, my wife, my daughter, my mum, they were horrified because, and this is getting back to health, it's not that they were worried that I would get sick out there. They were worried if I got sick out there, I wouldn't stop. And they were right. I wouldn't stop. I know for all the guys out there, that's not macho. That's stupidity and selfishness, yeah? But the reason I say that is that this film producer came backstage. It was in Long Beach, California. And she said, let me get this straight. What you're about to do, only 2 men in the world have done. They're half your age. You're going to die out there. Can I make a movie about it? I said, that's lovely. You want to make a movie of me killing myself, yeah? But what they didn't know, Ernesto, what they didn't know, and what that lady didn't know, was that Dave O'Brien did not fuel his body to perform. I fuel my body to repair. That's the difference. Because if you do fuel your body to repair, then it will perform. Let me tell you, I was in a guy died. People died trying to do this. It's so sad. And when I was in the Gobi Desert, a young man from America, an American guy died. He was only 31 years of age. And so the next day, everybody freaked out. They freaked out. Some people threw their rucksacks in the four-wheel drive and said, "We're out of this race. It's not worth it. I've got a family, whatever." But I made up my mind that on my watch, that would not happen again. The following day, we had a 120-kilometer day run, walk, crawl, whatever. It was the hottest day. It was in the Turpin Basin. It was in the hottest part, the second lowest point on the globe. It's really hot there. You stand in that heat for 30 seconds, your lips will blister. It's that bad. So anyway, we're going through these mountains, and a chap died in there. The following day, we're doing this long run, and I come across a figure far ahead. It was in the sand dunes, and it turned out to be a young British soldier, 27 years of age. Now, here we go. This is what we're talking about. You asked me about health. This is what I'm on about. 27 years old. He's half my age, way fitter than I could ever be. Ernesto, this guy was running 100-mile runs with a backpack. I wouldn't know what a 100-mile run was in training if it bit me in the ass. I've never run 100 miles in training. And so I get this guy. I have him for 5 hours. I'm not a doctor, and I'm praying that I can get him in. And he would do the same for me. I put his arm over my neck. We had all laughing, crying. I slapped him. We got in. And when I came in at the finish, somebody took a picture, and you've probably seen it, Ernesto. I put this up on the big screen. And this young man, half my age, fitter than I could ever be, and I circled my face. I look like I look now, this ugly mug, and I say, "That's health." And then I circle this young soldier's head, and I say, "That's fitness." And that, my friends, is the difference between fitness and health. You don't have to be a desert runner. David Phillips, you're absolutely right. A mom, a busy mom out there, any of us on a day-to-day job, the stresses and strains of trying to balance finances, trying to look after your children, there's so much going on that we need a bit of help out there to reduce this free radical damage. And so when I did these Desert Ernesto, the reason I told you that story is I knew that I had to cut the chances of me getting badly injured out there. So all I could do was make sure that I was as good as I could be at the cellular level with the micronutrients and macronutrients. We're talking about micronutrients today. Okay, so what did I do? I flooded my body with Juice Plus, running through my veins all the time. And when I came back from these races, I know there were desert runners who have lots of trouble with various parts of their organs. I have never had any trouble whatsoever. In other words, I've had no long-term effects. Exactly like what Dr. David Phillips said. After that tough triathlon, the toughest one there was, guess what? And I know exactly, David, what you mean. Your joint did the shuffle. You could barely move. He hadn't got that. That is not just, a coincidence. That's science behind all of that. And so why do I get so animated and excited, Ernesto? It's because at 71 years of age almost, I have 5 grandkids who try and beat the crap out of me. They jump up the top with their wrestling moves and, do they break a joint? Can I move? It doesn't affect me. I can put them on my back. I can run up and down the road outside my house. I can, do a 20-mile run in the morning in the fields. And that's not just good luck or good genes. The science behind good health. And that's the science of Juice Plus. And so basically that's why I'm so passionate about getting that message out there, Ernesto. It's had such a profound impact on my life. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I left school at 16 to a round of applause. They were all very happy to see me go. But all I can give everybody tonight, like Horst and like David, is our own personal story. So this is not here just good luck or good genes. The science behind my health. There's a reason I have a strong immune system. I have good cellular health. And That's basically it. So how should I hope that's answered your question. How should you go out there and advise? Would I advise sharing Juice Plus? Not like Dave O'Brien did at the start, because at the start I was on a mission. I would meet you, Ernesto. I would lift you up in the air. Your legs would be dangling. I would throw up on you for 25 minutes on Juice Plus, and then when you went to breathe, I would get a box of Juice Plus and shove it down your throat. My heart was in the right place, but my lips were all over the place. That is not the way to promote this amazing, amazing whole food supplement. What I would suggest is become a product of the product. Let your lips and legs go in the same direction. Let people see how you live your life, how healthy you are. There's no point, there's no point in trying to do it any other way. And people will look at you and say, oh my God, look at Ernesto. That guy is insane. He's on fire. I mean, every time I see you, Ernesto, you're in another part of the world. You're flying. Your energy levels are off the charts. That's not just, again, it's not just a coincidence. There's a reason for that. Look at Horst there. Look at Horst today. There's no way in this world you would say Horst is that age. Dr. David Phillips, look at him. I mean, it's insanity. So be a product of the product. Be proud of what we have. Very proud. This business of, I can't. No, you tell your story. Don't be afraid to tell your story out there. Stand up and be proud of it. And have that energy. And, it goes so far by doing that. And people will come to you. I promise you. That's it.
Well, I could listen to that for a few minutes more. Thank you very much, Dave O'Brien, for that. So much value in this call, so much energy in this call, so much good feeling in the call, and maybe some of the things that have been said are like, I don't know exactly what it means, but just you guys talking about this and the passion and the energy, how you share it, and knowing that the background that you have, seeing it, using it, been sharing it for so long, gives everybody in the community, and let me know in the chat. Send out some hearts, some fire emojis, thumbs ups. Let me know what you think of a call like this. Are you fired up? Are you like, you finish this call and you run to your Juice Plus, not only to take it, but to say tomorrow, I'll share it with 2 people more. I'll share it with 2 people more because that is my obligation. I cannot keep it for myself. I've heard David, I heard Dave, I heard Horst talking about this product that I knew was great, but now I know it's even greater than I thought. And everything that it does for me will do for all these other people out there. You don't have to be, as Dr. Phillips said as well, you don't have to be a super athlete. Yes, it's a busy mom. It's working hard here. It's doing the things that you need to do out there every single day. It helps everyone. This was so inspiring for me. I have made a lot of notes. Thank you very much to Dr. David Phillips. Thank you very much for rearranging this and do this for the Juice Plus community here in Europe. Dave O'Brien, you're the man. I mean, amazing what you shared there again with us. And then, of course, Horst Lehleiter from Switzerland. Again, also a person that is the living legend and the living proof of what Juice Plus does for you. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We'll do another call next month, and I'll share that with you as soon as possible. Hopefully, we'll get some amazing energy in there again, amazing feedbacks. We're so proud to have people like that, like these 3 in our Juice Plus community. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Ernesto.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you, Dave.